everybody. Happy day after Christmas. We're here to talk about the Kindle. Are you a parent who's deciding, should I get the Kindle or should I get something else? Well, let me tell you. The Kindle from Amazon is actually an in-between. Let's just get straight to it. Should you buy it? I'm gonna go with a yes. So if that's the answer you were looking for, you have completed your find, and you can go ahead and subscribe or follow or like, because this is GBR Life and I am Caitlin, if you're new to my channel. But if you want to hear a little bit more, let's get down to it like I just said. The Kindle is really great, but it's not perfect. And the reason for that is because Amazon and Google are not the best of friends. And why that matters is because today's day and age, we have way more out there for kids than just apps and games on a tablet, right? You want to be able to do a ton of things with your child, or your child to do it by themselves. Age recommendations for this, I'd say my son is 2 years old and he's really only now starting to really be able to use this. So if you've got like a 18-month-old who's a little bit more advanced in being able to select things and games and things like that, you can go ahead and purchase it, but don't expect them to really get much use out of it. So 2 and up would be, I'd say, the youngest, but preferably 3, 4, your child's probably going to get a lot more out of it. However, my son does love his Kindle. Now, when I go into these apps and games and Google and Amazon, let's talk about YouTube, along with, I believe it's ABC Mouse and Homer. So these are great things for kids to learn how to say their ABCs, their numbers, like all these different things. And why that makes a difference is because obviously you want your child to be able to be exposed to way more than just Amazon products. Now, unfortunately, if you're using an Amazon Kindle, you're really limited to Amazon apps, games, and anything that is connected to Amazon. So Noggin, for example, you can subscribe to them and you can get Noggin, and things like that. So that being said, if you can kind of get past that, Amazon themselves does have a large amount of things that you can actually use, apps and movies and videos that you can actually use, but you're not going to get like a good YouTube experience, for example. They have YouTube for kids. It doesn't really work very well. It's not a great thing, and they can accidentally click on ads and stuff, and it's some very vulgar. Free time and for that child. You select their age, you select and you say their name, or type in their name and everything. And then from there, you're going to start adding in items and games and things like that for them, because the parent is controlling it on the parent side. So that's a good thing if you're trying to monitor your children. You can also set time limits. Then you go into the child side and they're able to see and access all of those things. That being said, your child can also access and add to the Kindle themselves on their side, but only things that are their age appropriate items. So when they're looking through, they can press the search button and type in, if they're able to at that age, type in what they want, and only the age appropriate videos, apps, and games will come up. But there's always a circumstance that something won't come up. It's already on your side and you have to bring it over. Things like TV shows that you may have purchased on Amazon, you have to actually go on parent side, add it to theirs for it to show up on the parent side, add it to their free time for it to show up on the kid's account. So you can see some of the downsides to this is that it's very parent centric, where you have to do a lot of things to add it to your child. And that can be quite annoying when you kind of want to just give your kid this and say, leave me alone for 5 minutes. Even if you're limiting screen time, it can still be quite annoying, because if you're giving it to them for 2 hours, at 2 hours they may be, Mom, Dad, and that kind of thing. So if you want your child to have a Kindle, I say yes, and the reason being is because they have access to a lot of books and apps and games and things like that. It's just not going to be everything that you may want your child to have access to. However, it will be age appropriate. YouTube isn't something that is going to be great, like I mentioned prior. So if that's something your kid really likes, like my son loves YouTube videos, and typically we actually give him the Nintendo Switch to do that. And the reason being is because the Nintendo Switch allows the child to go directly into the YouTube app, and they really can't get out of the app. And whatever you select for them to watch, more videos like that will continue to play for them. So it's a little bit easier, not dealing with as many ads and things. Of course, on the video there's ads, but I'm saying like pop-up ads. Versus things that may show up on the Kindle. So YouTube-wise, if that's what you're interested in for the Kindle, don't do that. Don't buy it then. Go for the Nintendo Switch. Yes, it's a lot more money, but you'll thank me for YouTube-wise. And if it's just for books, apps, just for your child to have fun, play, and do those types of things, then yeah, absolutely go ahead and get it. But it is not an end-all, be-all. My suggestion is, if you want your child to really learn how to use a tablet and get really proficient at it, also have access to ABC Mouse easily and not have to go into the parent account, go ahead and get a regular tablet, or an Android tablet in particular, or an iPad. But the iPad I'm not 100% about on how it works, but I do know that ABC Mouse and Homer is able to be added to those. But an Android also allows ABC Mouse and Homer. And if anybody doesn't know what I'm talking about, those are the applications for children to learn a bunch of preschool things. Basically, it doesn't replace preschool, but it definitely helps the children to learn in addition to preschool. So they're wonderful apps, and I mean, I could always go into that another day, but I'm not going to talk about it next week, because next week is going to be parenting hacks. So hopefully this really summed up everything you could possibly want to know about the Kindle. The only thing I didn't talk about is the price range, and the reason I'm not going to mention that with a good number is because sometimes Amazon will have really great sales. So my suggestion is you just keep looking and see whatever price you kind of want in your head, and keep looking to see if it ever goes down to that price. But I will give you a range. I've seen it as low as $50 and as high as $100. So really just keep checking back, because they have sales and things, and you can get it for actually a really good price. They do sell it in bundles as well. They can sell it in the pink and the blue, or pink and pink, or pink and purple, or that's pretty much it, actually. They should have more colors for boys, because this is really the only color for boys that I've seen. Okay, so that was all about the Kindle. I'm Caitlin from GVR Life, and if you're interested in anything else like this, or you want to go to my blog, my vlog, anything, just go to gbrlife.com. You can see how it's spelled. And subscribe already. Come on, I've got some great content. Parenting hacks. Go check it out.